Welcome to Conscious Living here at the Specially Produce Network. We are so glad you're here to support your lifestyle with the fastest growing resource for conscious families. So sit back, relax, connect, and enjoy. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Conscious Living Podcast. I am here live in the Specially Produce Network podcasting booth with our favorite producer, Vegan Danielle. She's just amazing. We have put together an amazing podcast for you today. I'm here live in the studio, and live in Los Angeles is my partner and colleague of the Brain Integration Institute. Welcome, Annie Kolatkar.
Hi there, ladies. How are you this morning?
We are amazing. We all are amazing. Everyone watching us live and pre-recorded, we are so excited you're here today. We are here to really share with everyone how everyone can sleep like a genius.
Absolutely. I can't wait to share this information. It's going to change everyone's sleep.
It really will. We're so excited. It really is. And we have created 12 easy steps for everyone to experience the best sleep they've ever had. Annie, will you share with us how we get started in this process of creating better sleep?
I would be delighted to. I have so much compassion for everyone who has ever shared with me that they have not had a good night's sleep. I know that it brings out so much fear in all of us to feel like our bodies are controlling us, that this elusive thing called sleep has more control over us than we ever imagined. And then sometimes in our families, our children or our spouse, partner has some sleep problems, and it can bring up a lot of worry and concern and increase everyone's anxiety. So it was because of numerous people that we've worked with that we just said, okay, we just have to share this, what we have learned about sleep, and all the clients that we've helped get a better night's sleep. This is what we're presenting to you today. Some really profound, amazing, life-changing, sleep-changing bits of info that you can empower yourself with. And it all begins with a commitment. And let's face it, a commitment is simply an intention. Yes. So I just want to start with a healing intention that I call my commitment to myself and my family. And this is the healing intention for creating rejuvenative sleep. And Ashley, I swear by the time we retire, Webster's dictionary is going to have at least 12 new words from us.
That's right.
Rejuvenative. There you go.
That's right. I think it is a word now. I'm pretty sure in the wellness community we have rejuvenative.
It's rejuvenative.
And restorative sleep is what we're creating.
Absolutely. And I just want to assure people that everything that we talk about today will be on our website in the coming days. And we will have at a glance summary of these 12 easy steps to have better sleep starting tonight. And that part we'll have available today.
Yeah.
So the first thing that we want to do is we want to start our intention with, and I'll say it from my perspective, I, Annie, commit from this day forward that I will allow my judgments of my sleep or lack of sleep to release the belief that I can't have what I intend for myself or my family. In this new moment, I am now choosing self-love inside conscious choice to support myself each and every night. I consciously release comparison consciousness, which elicits me to judge my sleep or lack thereof, so I can create a more loving and supportive conversation with myself as I connect to my genius brain during the day. So,
Wow. That
what does
is a
all that even mean,
it's a
right?
beautiful intention. It felt
Yeah, because
amazing.
and part of this construct is that we have to let go comparing our sleep with how we slept in the past.
Yes.
We have to let go of our self judgments, and we have to release our beliefs that keep us stuck in old paradigms.
Yeah,
So,
like we need 8 hours of sleep, or
yeah,
what's another one that the other person got more sleep than I, so they must be more well rested than me, or these
right.
kinds
Or
of
I had a stressful, exhaustive day, and therefore I am exhausted. Or I've been sick and I need my rest. Or if I don't rest, I will get sleep. There's so many messages that we've been given, and Ashley and I are here today to support your reframing
yes,
of how you look through this lens that we call sleep. So,
yes.
Ashley, you want to start with the first tip?
Oh, I'm so excited too, because when we go through these 12 steps, it really sets the stage for an opportunity of reframing the way we look at sleep, the way we experience sleep, and then the after effects of the sleep that we actually created, right? And these help us define and support and assimilate. That means put it all together. We can put all this stuff together, and really, after practice, we can create the best sleep we've ever had. And it starts with this first step of quieting the mind. And Annie, what do we do when we quiet our mind? What does that feel like? What is that sensation like?
I liken it to putting on a helmet of silence.
That's a great one. That's a great one. I
you
know
know,
that I know that sometimes I get busy in my life and I have a little to-do list, right? And so I actually put a real physical hook near my door of my bedroom. And some people can put an imaginary hook if they like. But you can put a hook on the door and you can put all of your to-do list and all everything that's busy, busy, busy in your mind. And you can put it right there on the hook, right by the door, and keep it there and make that commitment all throughout the night. If you wake up, that I can quiet my mind again. And I quiet my mind by putting my to-do list on that hook. So I actually get that conscious choice. Nope, I'm going to think about my to-do list in the morning. I'm
yeah,
perfectly fine with resting and sleeping without think my brain is so genius and so smart, it will remember the to-do list in the morning.
yeah. I call that hitting the pause button
Yeah,
before I go to bed
right.
because, we can retrain our brain just by writing down everything and leaving it on a piece of paper beside our bed. And if we have any doubts, we'll just go, oh yeah, that paper will be there in the morning.
Exactly.
Now, I want to support the parents with helpful kid tips as we go through this, just here and there. Uh, for children, I like to invite them to let go of all the day's troubles from their mind and body and blow it into a balloon, an imaginary balloon, right? And just let it fly away. I have kids, they love to blow up balloons and then let them go, and then they zoom all over the room, right?
Right.
So this is a very simple mental picture that they can embody.
Right.
Yeah. So let's go to the next tip.
Yes.
Gratitude. This is,
I love gratitude.
I know,
It's
I
so much
know.
fun because when we do gratitude, we feel thankful, we feel grateful. And when we feel thankful and grateful for real, not just pretend, but when we really do understand or become aware of something we're grateful for in our lives, inside ourselves and outside ourselves, when we do that, we feel our needs have been met. And when we go to sleep feeling our needs have been met, what does that bring?
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.
Peace.
So
And peace
I like
might be one of the hugest puzzles, right? Peace puzzles, the puzzle of
puzzle
peace
pieces.
of sleep is when we go to peace. we're able to rest, relax, rejuvenate, and sleep?
I always want people to remember to go into gratitude for their body the moment they notice they are restless, twisting and turning, getting too hot, um, can't calm the agitation, feel uncomfortable next to their sleeping partner. I want you to immediately think gratitude for your body. Say, oh, wow, gratitude. Body, thank you so much for getting my attention. Thank you for showing me that there is a problem, and I commit to working on healing whatever is disturbing my peace. And as I like to say, and I think Ashley, you say it at least a million times a month too, is everything is a consciousness problem.
Yeah.
So what this means is somewhere inside our consciousness is an unresolved conflict.
Yeah.
And
Or
so
things that keep us challenged, right? It doesn't even have to go to a full-fledged problem. It can just be a
thank
challenge
you.
that we experience,
Yes,
right? I mean, it's
that's right.
amazing. And it
It
does
adds to the stress.
upset, yes, our stress levels in our
Mhm.
body. Yes.
So we can just go into gratitude and say, Body, thank you so much for showing me that I have something unresolved inside me. And the moment you do that, science has done some studies on this, and it's really just marvelous. When we acknowledge what's going on in the body says, oh, whew, thank goodness, I got your attention. And then the response drops by at least half.
Right.
And then when we commit and we talk to our body and we have a conversation, we then can say to the body, wow, I'm going to start working on this. And then the body begins to relax because it doesn't have to hold the energies of that tension to get your attention.
Right.
So I like to help children by having them review their mental and emotional conflicts just before bed
Right.
to support them conflict resolving before they get to sleep
Right.
so that they're not hashing through their conflicts
Yeah, it
before
gives
bed.
them some sense of resolve. And when we
Absolutely.
do that, it's easier, it's simpler, it's flows better to go into gratitude when a lot of our conflicts internally inside ourselves are resolved and on
Absolutely.
some level, and we can bring that to that process even right before bed, which is beautiful. And
I have my 7-year-old fairly well trained to do sort of a reflection before he goes to bed. And I ask him, did you release all the judgments you felt on you today? Do you have any self judgments? Do you um, feel that there's any energies from school that you brought home?
yeah, that's
Right?
our beautiful step number 3 is right, releasing
Yes.
self-judgments. So beautiful that you shared that we can do that even with kids very, very young, even toddlers. We can start to guide the conversation and allow them to release tensions or stress. And any
They
age
know.
group, right? They know.
They absolutely know what we're talking about.
They,
They are learning the vocabulary at such an accelerated rate.
yes.
And sometimes adults have this perception about children that they couldn't possibly know what we're talking about. But they're more energetically open than we give them credit for.
That's really true.
Yeah,
That's
they
really true. And so, inside that self judgments and releasing our self judgments, and the way that we can do that is by conflict resolving those consciousness challenges that we experienced either with ourselves or with others. And with the kids, what we do is really a very neat practice, right? When they do their nighttime teeth brushing and hand washing, we help them, right, bring the energies of their conflicts and their problems, and we bring the energies to the tips of their hands, and we have them wash that off. So when you wash your hands at night, when you wash your face, when you brush your teeth, remember that you can wash your hands, bring that energy to the tips of your fingers, and let it just go down the drain.
yes.
And you get to start fresh and new. And even if that conflict still presents itself in the morning, you have a sense of reprieve, right? That's been washed away. So you have a moment to seek clarity, have clarity, understand, and new opportunities and new moments, new ahas can come through even when you're a child as the way
And
to
I want
problem solve some of these conflicts we face during our waking hours.
Absolutely. And I want all of the older people listening, not necessarily the toddlers, to know that you too can go to the sink before you go to bed and just say, okay, I let go of all my past judgments that I made on myself and my body for how I slept in the past.
Right.
Because we forget that the past is over, it does not define us. We don't need to accept it as proof of who we are in the moment. And it completely puts, the big X on and cancels the present moment as new, fresh, full of potential and opportunity for something different. Because a lot of people use fear to go with their self judgments like a hand in a glove and says, well, tonight's not going to be any better. You
Right.
cannot approach sleep and expect to have a good night's sleep if you go to bed with that self judgment and that fear
That
intertwined.
sure is. That can be one of the biggest ones, that step
Yeah.
number 3, right? And so
Yeah.
moving on to step number 4, what is
Which
that
is,
one?
well, thank you, because it just ties in with what I just said. We have to release our fears around sleep. And part of that is letting go of our agreements that we went into with science and the experts that said, you need 8 hours of sleep. Okay, people, here's your size 8 shoe. Everybody wear this shoe. Okay,
Right.
now I am sure there's a very small percentage of our audience that wears a size 8 shoe,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's not going to serve everybody to buy into this belief. And everyone has a very incredibly unique physicality, physiology, unique consciousness. And so that is a recipe for a unique sleep situation.
Right.
So,
So when
and
we
that's
hold
why
on to these I can't or I believe I have to have, then when we're stuck in those belief systems, we tend to then create or manifest what we believe.
that's correct.
And then when we believe that we have these limits, then these limits then actually truly do limit our sleep. And so we're supporting everyone who's listening to us today in this podcast to review, what beliefs do you have about sleep, or do you believe that you have about your children's sleep, that may actually be coming true. And you can reframe that. You can say things like, I can get adequate sleep. Whatever sleep that I do have is enough for my body and will rejuvenate me, restore me, and allow me to awaken refreshed, ready to go for the next day.
And I love that, because that is where we begin to honor whatever rest we created when we chose to create it, right?
Absolutely.
So if you're able to create 10 minutes of sleep, honor it. Go into gratitude for it. If you're able to create 8.5 hours of sleep,
You get to
honor it.
celebrate.
It's what you created. So every time that you ignore what you did create and you go and focus on what you didn't create because you have a judgment or a belief that you should have had 7 more hours, you are completely destroying the 1 hour of sleep that you did get.
It does. It diminishes the energy, it diminishes our vitality, our awareness, our opportunity for creating what we want through the day. And that's what we're
So
here to do, right? We're here to connect to our genius brain during the day so that everything flows and opens and creates that opportunity for creating everything we set forward in our lives.
and I want to start with number 5 here, which is my job is to rest.
Yes.
I want everyone to take a moment and reframe what their job is at night when they put their head on their pillow
Yeah,
or on their
actually, that's
arm
number
or whatever.
6. We're going to go, we're
No,
in number
you're
6 is my job is to rest.
okay.
Yes.
So my job is to rest is literally you're to do nothing else but rest and pay attention to your breath and nothing else. So if or when you fall asleep, that's just you creating something new for your body. And then when you wake up, it's just you waking up to something new for your body.
Right.
And your potentials are unlimited. So I mentioned your job is to rest and pay attention to your breath. Ashley, would you like to talk about breathe in love and connect to your heart?
Number 7, breathe in love and connect to your heart. Okay. So, when we've done a lot of that, so this first 6 steps are all about clearing, right? And setting the stage for an opportunity for deep, amazing, restorative, and vital sleep. And when we experience that, when we begin that process, when sleep really begins to settle in for us, what is really great is to take that cleansing breath, right? That opening breath, that opportunity to breathe in all the love that you are for yourself, for others, for your life circumstances. And that helps us connect our brain to our heart. And that geniusness that flows from our heart to our brain, from our brain to our heart, from our brain to our body, we connect all those parts to us. So we connect to that greater being of ourselves, our physical, our mental, our emotional, our spiritual. We get to connect to all those aspects of our part, of ourselves and our beingness, so that we have really that wholehearted restorative sleep. And
And
now
for
number
children,
8.
well, I want
Oh,
to just add a child tip here.
yes,
I
please.
helped my son learn this process of, your job is to rest and breathe. So I placed my hand on his left rib cage and I said, breathe into my left hand so he could feel where his breath would move. Then I did it on the right side. Then I did it on his belly. And I said, pretend my hand is a big, heavy phone book and just breathe it straight up into the air. And then I put my hand on his chest and I said, breathe into your chest so you can feel the air move there. And then I said, what sound is your breath making as it moves in and out? And literally, I could feel his body relaxing, and it was beautiful. So after 3 nights of this, he literally was going to bed much, much faster. So that is a great kid tip.
It sure
Okay,
is. Number 8.
trusting my body.
All right.
I learned a long time ago that our body knows what to do. Okay. It is incredibly, indescribably wise in terms of how it moves through the organ detox cycle with or without me sleeping. Okay.
Right.
So one day I realized when I first moved to Los Angeles, I literally did not sleep from January to June. And by day 4, I recognized I didn't know when this was going to stop. And I said, all right, number one, I'm not going to judge my sleep. And then I made some other commitments to myself. But in this process, I brought up this little bit of knowledge that said, I know my body is going to do everything it needs to do while I sleep. So I had this enormous trust in my body that I wasn't going to compromise myself if my brain did not shut off at night. And I would get up in the morning and I would be absolutely fine. And I would be fine all day long. And I would go to bed. And I literally went to bed with that intention that I can trust my body. And it was so deeply, profoundly supportive.
Very
So I
much
encourage
so.
you to recognize that.
And number
Okay.
9 is releasing fears. And the way that we can release fears is abundant, right? There are so many ways we can release fears, but what fears we're talking about here maybe is the fears of things that go bump in the night, or things that we can't see, or things that we don't know are around us. What if we can
Even on the horizon.
right, even on the horizon?
I have a meeting with my boss tomorrow. Oh my God, I have to break up with my boyfriend tomorrow. I mean, there could be an unlimited amount of things that cause fear inside of you
Right.
that you don't know how to handle before bed.
Right. And so, what we want to do is there are many, many, many ways, and we have many blogs and podcasts that share about these ideas of releasing fears. And in the context of releasing fears around sleep, is we can release that fear that I won't get enough sleep, or that I had a hectic day, or that I had a busy day, or a troubling day. And through all these steps, we recognize that we can release all of these troubles, all of these concerns, conflicts, and problems, judgments. And as we release them, we know that we are then moving into that gratitude and creating peace. And so remember that there are lots of ways. One way is to become aware of our fears. And so we suggest if people have a lot of fears about sleeping or fears before they go to sleep or recognizing that fears actually impact sleeping, write them down. Get them out on paper. Know what they are. Become aware of them so that you're able to reframe them, problem solve with them, support them, and help heal them. And now we get to go on to step 10.
Well, wait a second. We're almost there. But I think for children, they can draw pictures of their fears, which supports them expressing what they're processing during their nightmares or their night terrors. And also gives insights to the parents about what may be creating some of the disruptive sleep patterns.
Right.
So prior to bedtime, just have them do some drawing and ask them, to share with them. What would you say, Ashley? Like, what do you experience at night?
Yeah. And it
And
can,
be very vague. Don't lead the witness.
right. Allow them to free draw, free share, free crayon and color or paint, ways in which they can even do with Play Doh and other clays that they can make or manifest what it is they fear or have fears about that can support them in you connecting with what it is they're fearful of during
Yeah,
sleep. That helps them sleep
yeah.
in their bed, that helps them sleep comfortably and gets through some of those deeper processes that might be challenging to them.
Okay, moving along. My
Yeah,
promise to my body. This one is so important. If you were to maybe do nothing else but this one, it's what you agree not to do. Okay. You will not turn on a light, a radio, a TV, your phone. You won't get up and check the time, get up and read, or do any other activity. Because
right,
what you're doing is you're saying to your brain, I give up. I am going to be productive and I'm going to, uh, you know, do something other than rest.
right,
When your job is to rest with your eyes closed and paying attention to your breath. So if your thoughts dominate, acknowledge them. Just say thank you. That thought is on paper, and I am choosing to focus on my breath. I will honor this thought in the morning.
right.
Okay. And that is just a commitment that you make to your body while it rests, detoxes, and rejuvenates. Okay, Ashley, your favorite, wake up in gratitude.
We wake up in gratitude when no matter how you feel in the morning, no matter what's happening, take the first step to wake up in gratitude. Feel the gratitude inside you. Acknowledge that. Feel the gratitude outside of you. Acknowledge that. Recognize what feels good in your body. Recognize what doesn't feel good in your body. Give that its support. And then we move to the next one, which is what is my theme of the day? Right?
Yes,
What is my
because I think that when we set a goal to simply wake up, look, your goal can be anything. It can be happy, it can be peaceful, blissful, rested. But the theme of the day is really just about going, you know what, tomorrow I think I'm going to get up and I'm going to get up with optimism or enthusiasm for my day. Because here is the key element to this idea. I I am the source of my energy,
right?
not my quality of sleep. So when I acknowledge how powerful I am and make conscious choice to stand in my power and love my body for the marvelous, amazing vehicle that it is that I get to travel in while I'm on this planet called Earth, I actually can go, oh, wow. You know,
Yes.
I I get to create every aspect of my day through conscious choice.
And now we're going to speak about number 12, connecting to our genius brain, right? So
Yes.
when we
So,
wake up and we've had gratitude and we pick our theme of the day, next we're going to connect to our genius brain that is allowing everything that we innately know we're connected with that we can optimize that brain, that genius brain connected to the heart, really living a heart-filled, centered day.
This part of you already knows perfect sleep is available. That's why you get so frustrated. But the truth is that you can let your inner navigation lead you to this sleeping genius brain that knows perfect sleep. And so, one of the ways that you can connect to that is you can ask yourself, what fun things would I like to dream about that will express pleasant emotions tonight, for example?
Yes.
You have the power to do that.
We have the power to create the sleep we so choose
Yes,
every
yes,
single day. And it just takes a teeny bit of practice and a whole lot of awareness. And through these 12 steps, we know you will create better sleep even tonight.
yeah. So let's talk quickly, briefly about what happens, quote unquote, after we get up from our night's sleep.
That's what we're doing, right? We woke up
Yeah.
in gratitude.
So
We
so
created
we
that
might
theme.
question how we're feeling at different times during the day, right?
Yeah.
And we might activate a fear that we didn't have enough sleep. So one of the things that's really valuable is to release self-doubt, which is another form of self-judgment. And then we can move into clarity and discernment and mastery. So when we ask ourselves questions, we can move out of that fear space. So here's an example of a question that, Ashley actually is the one that got me asking myself these questions during the day. And so here's one. Am I sleepy, or am I wanting to check out of my present experience? Okay, that was me in, third year Spanish class.
Right.
It was right after lunch, and I just wanted a little siesta. So here's another
Yes.
one.
No.
Am I,
Yeah,
did you want to add to that?
there's so many things, and what we are going to do is promote you to really read even more in depth in our
Yes.
blog on our website that really further explains all of these in-depth things that can create sleep disruptions even during the day, that sets us up for all these belief ideas, that sets us up maybe for challenges in sleeping. And so we promote you really in reviewing these 12 steps through the night to help you really fall deeply asleep, restore yourself, and create that level of rejuvenation. We thank you so much for joining us today and really exploring these ways that we can create deep, rejuvenative, and vital sleep that really connects us to our genius brain throughout the whole entire day. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We are so glad you're here and having great sleep.
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Specialty Produce Network.
Thank you all for listening to this podcast. We are so grateful for you tuning in and experiencing the innovations and opportunities we all can incorporate into our daily lives. Connect with us at centerforconsciouskids.com to sign up for the latest news that showcases these revolutionary services and products. Our global website provides families with an online conduit for enrichment and transformation in all our lives. Please share with other kids and families who would enjoy these advancements in living consciously. I'm Ashley Lee, and I thank you so much for joining us.